What about chaos?
Chaos. Mission is to kill chaos. That's all I know.
Bang. That chaos doesn't exist?
You will not find him.
Bro, let me tell you something. When this guy gets his hands on chaos, I don't even want to see what happens. What is going on, people? I go by the name of Debug and welcome to the channel. Today's video is going to be my first impressions of Final Fantasy Origins Stranger of Paradise. And speaking of strangers, I am no stranger to Final Fantasy games because I am a Final Fantasy OG. Okay, I'm just old. Want to start off by saying a massive thank you to our friends at Square Enix who provide us with this game. It is much appreciated. So I want to be really transparent with this video. Normally I finish my games before I review them. However, last two games I have been reviewing have collectively took up 150 hours of my time. So this video is just going to be me talking about my first impressions for this game. Now, this is not me just only playing for the first hour and then giving my first impressions. I have put hours and hours in this game, so I can give you a good indication of what the game is like. But I must admit, this game has been really interesting, and if there's one word I can describe it, it's chaos. Let's begin. So what is this game about? Stranger of Paradise Final Fantasy Origin is a new action RPG by Square Enix in collaboration with Team Ninja and Koei Tecmo Games. They bring a bold new vision to the Final Fantasy series. Jack and his allies Ash and Jed burn with the resolve to defeat chaos as they throw open the gates to the Chaos Shrine. So let's start with the most important aspect of the game with a game like this for me, in my opinion, and that is the gameplay. We all know Square's previous games and how their games like to be played, but seeing as this is a collab from the likes of Team Ninja and Koei, you can really see their influence. The game runs pretty smooth with a solid 60 frames per second in performance mode, and the combos are something similar to a crazy hack and slash game. Nothing is more satisfying when pressing circle to finish off an enemy, which makes you feel like you're not even playing the Final Fantasy game, but something similar to a game like God of War. With the addition of different classes as well as counters, the combat does hold up throughout the game, and it's definitely something that I'd probably want to see in future Square releases. The game has all your Final Fantasy fan favorite spells and also takes us to some past Final Fantasy locations, which I found was a very nice touch. The customization of this game is another area where Stranger of Paradise does really well, with endless amount of customization with your team, whether that be your equipment or your skill set tree. The game also has different difficulty levels, which I found was helpful because playing this on hard mode, the game suddenly becomes very frustrating. The ability to play co-op with your friends is still, for me, by far one of the most positive things with this game. Play with two other friends and use your different classes to create some great synergy amongst each other, and most importantly, it is a lot of fun. However, there are some areas where I found Stranger of Paradise falls short, one being the graphics. Whilst a game like this is never about the graphics, I found them to look much like last gen, and I am not even talking about PS4. Whilst the cutscenes were not the worst, when you compare it to other Square games, you can tell the big difference in presentation. Another area where I didn't really connect with the game was the story. Now, normally Square games have some of the best stories in the business, but for me this felt almost meme-like. The game lines were kind of annoying, but saying that, after a few hours I actually enjoyed Jack constantly saying his lines because it became funny. From the reaction of most fans across the internet, it seems that most people think the same, and now I'm thinking something that I saw as a negative might actually be a positive. Overall, I was actually very skeptical going into this game, having just played two AAA games that are probably competing with Game of the Year, but Stranger of Paradise actually held its own. Whilst it may not have the amazing story as its previous Final Fantasy series and the breathtaking graphics that we saw from Final Fantasy Remake game, the game is a lot of fun. The introduction of co-op was such a nice addition. With the influence from Team Ninja and Koei Games, it makes the combat fluid, fun, and something that doesn't seem repetitive or a grind. With so many games coming out recently, I do think people's attention are focused on other areas when it comes to games, but for me, this is a game that may be appreciated in the future. Whilst I did think it was a weird time to release a game a few weeks after Babylon's Fall, if I had the option to choose between Stranger of Paradise or Falls for a co-op and fun game, Stranger of Paradise wins hands down. If you want a light-hearted games with good combat to play with your friends and a laugh amongst yourself with the great Jack dialogue, then this game is for you. So that is it, people. Let me know what you think of the game. Are you about all this chaos? Are you gonna give it a skip? And let me know in the comment section below. As always, if you can hit the like, most importantly subscribe, it'd be much appreciated. Again, massive thanks to the people at Square Enix who provide us this game, and this is probably gonna be my last video reviewing games like in this format, because I'm gonna switch it up, and I've actually even got a guest, so make sure you look out for that. But until next time, people, I am out. Peace.